Good morning everyone. This is Doorva Sharma from class 9 from PN Foundation School, Kayamganj. And today I am going to narrate a story titled The Bread That Changed France. It was the summer of 1789. The streets of Paris were not filled with perfume and laughter anymore. They were filled with anger, hunger, and the sound of empty stomachs. The poor had stopped whispering. They had started shouting, freedom, equality, brotherhood. The world was about to change forever. In the corner of that restless city stood a small bakery, walls cracked, shelves bare, and inside it lived a 12-year-old boy whose name was Lucien, with eyes that had seen too much hunger for his age. His mother baked bread for the rich. Every morning, golden loaves went out in shiny carriages, but Lucien never even got a crumb. "Why, Mom?" he'd ask. And she'd whisper, "Because morn fills bread to those who rule." He'd look out of the window and see children fighting over stale pieces of bread on the street. Pieces that nobles wouldn't even feed their dogs. That's when Lucien decided. When he grew up, he would bake a bread that no one would go hungry for. Then one morning, something strange happened. His mother's hand trembled as she kneaded the dough. Outside, voices grew louder. Drums, footsteps, cries. "They are storming the Bastille," she said. The king's guard had fallen, and the people were no longer afraid. Lucien ran outside. He saw thousands, farmers, workers, mothers with their children, all walking together, not for gold, not for crowns, but for the bread, for the right to live with dignity, for the right to be seen. He picked one of his mother's loaves, lifted it high into the air, and shouted, "Bread for all!" His voice was small, but it was carried through the crowd like a spark in the dry grass. And soon, thousands were chanting with him, "Bread for all, bread for all." That day, Bastille fell. And so did the silence that had changed France for centuries. Years later, when France was free, Lucien grew up to be a baker. Not for the nobles, not for the kings, but for everyone. In his bakery, there were no separate lines for the rich or the poor. Everyone stood together, and every loaf of bread had one word carved on top: equality. People said, "It's just a bread." But Lucien smiled and said, "No, it's what we fought for." Because sometimes revolutionaries aren't born from sword or soldiers. They are born from hunger, from hope, and the dream of sharing one piece of the bread equally. The moral of the story is, the bread reminds us that equality is the real bread every nation needs. Thank you.